Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learning Unit number 2, or Week 2. In this learning unit for the experience of chronic illness, we're going to be talking about the experience of the adult with chronic illness. And we're going to be introduced or reintroduced for some of you to mindfulness. So by the end of this learning unit, you're going to be able to evaluate the condition of obesity from the perspective of both a disease and an illness. You're going to be able to describe the impact of obesity on the American public, discuss how mind-body interventions such as mindfulness and meditation can positively impact chronic conditions such as obesity. And I'm asking that you're willing to create a personal practice of mindfulness that includes self-compassion. So by the end of this week, you're going to have watched this recorded video presentation. You're going to start reading in your textbook. Now, the textbook is The Mindful Nurse. I hope you've all gotten a copy of this. You're going to read the introduction and then chapter 1 in our textbook. You're going to have completed quiz 2, and let's talk a little bit more about that. Quiz 2 is going to test your knowledge on the introduction and chapter 1 in the text. So it's not going to include anything else besides the readings for this week. It's going to have 2 short essay questions. You're going to have 1 attempt to complete, but yeah, it will not be timed. After you do the readings and the quiz, I recommend that you go on and read the information on obesity, including watch that brief video that's in this website. And as you watch that video, how would you define obesity? I would like you to think about how you would define obesity. Is it a chronic disease or a chronic illness? And remember that we talked and read a bit about that in Learning Unit 1, whereas disease really refers to the pathophysiology of a condition. Illness, in contrast, is the human experience of a disease and refers to how the disease is perceived, lived with, and responded to by individuals and their families and healthcare professionals as well. So looking through that information, there's another report, and this is the America's Health Ranking annual report, and the information for 2021 is viewable. So I just would like you to take a moment. I know there's a lot of information on this website. Let me just demonstrate what I would like you to look at. And that is the information that you see as soon as you open about obesity, as far as which state is the healthiest, what state has the highest rate of obesity. Nearing 40% of the population in Mississippi is defined as obese. Well, what's the definition? It's a BMI of 30 or higher. And so read a little bit more about obesity, who is impacted by obesity, the prevalence, what, according to the literature, is works to counteract obesity. And then you could look at some of the objectives if you want to click on there for Healthy People 2030. But that's the information. I want you to read this and then quickly look at, quickly look at the stats, the numbers. That is truly concerning. And this goes through 2020, so wait until the pandemic year of 2021 as well. And then the information on national obesity will give you a better idea, again, state by state, where we sit as far as Pennsylvania. You can start to see we're getting down there at 31.5%. So read the information. And then you can there's a short article on mindful eating 101, and I ask that you do this 5-minute guided meditation audio on mindful breathing. So when you are completing the week's discussion board, you're going to be posting by Thursday. Remember, by Thursday evening. And you're going to be replying to at least one of your peers by Sunday evening. So as you do your discussion board post, think about our learning activities of this week and how we blended both mindfulness with the condition of obesity. And I would like you to post a summary of what you perceive as the key findings of this week and share how mindfulness can impact on weight loss, especially weight loss that persists over time. And we keep talking about mindfulness, and I know you're going to be reading and getting more information in your text. But one other thing I just wanted to remind you that was in the area when you clicked on Learning Unit number 2, when you first went, is the definition by Jon Kabat-Zinn. Jon Kabat-Zinn defines mindfulness as paying attention on purpose, in the present moment, without judgment. So when you think about that, paying attention, okay, on purpose, in the present moment, without judgment, think which one is most difficult for you. I find actually the without judgment to be most difficult. When we're talking about mindfulness, I can be mindful in the present moment on purpose, but without judgment. Don't we often just judge our surroundings, our temperature, you name it? So I challenge you to develop mindfulness as a practice, and I hope you'll enjoy having that as a textbook as well, where you can really learn as we focus on the illness experience. Thank you guys, and have a great week.